Good morning to all of you. I am very happy that I have had an opportunity to teach you grammar. In previous classes, I taught you sentence, kinds of sentence, thereafter narration, kinds of narration, and how to change from direct into indirect of every sentence. Every sentence means assertive, interrogative, imperative, optative, and exclamative. Before teaching rules of sentence, first of all I taught general rules, and I must hope that you are going through my taught chapters again and again. Dear students, always I tell you, whenever I teach here, whenever you see my video, it is one thing. But at the same time, you have to consult the book. If you are consulting book, the taught subject, the taught chapter will be very, very strong for you. Go through the self-study. Always I tell you, whenever I get opportunity to motivate you, to inspire you, that self-studies are the best tool to get success. Even weak can be strong if the method of self-study is occupied, is followed in them. Today, I am going to teach you a chapter, a topic that is called syntax. You see, I have written syntax. Automatically, it comes to our mind, what is syntax? What does it mean? What is the meaning of the syntax? In a very common way, it is said, in syntax, it is considered whether the sentence is correct or incorrect grammatically. It means, in the chapter of the sentence, we learn how to write English correctly. It means, syntax is the way of the correction of the sentence, and it helps us to write the sentence rightly, correctly. The another name of the syntax is called agreement to the verb. Agreement to the verb. Agreement to the verb. It means there must be agreement between verb and subject, between subject and verb. Thereafter, sentence will be correct. It is the first rule of syntax that verb must be according to subject, and if verb is according to subject, as per the rule of the subject, it is sure that sentence will be quite correct. First, it is told the verb Here I have written, the verb must agree with its subject in number and person. There must be coordination. There must be reconciliation between verb and subject, between subject and verb. Thereafter, sentence that is written in English will be quite correct. For this, we have to pay our mind at the starting of the writing of the sentence. The sentence must be grammatically correct, and for writing grammatically correct, it's our duty to make reconciliation, to make coordination between subject and verb, between verb and subject. Thereafter, our sentence will be quite correct, free from grammatical flaw, free from grammatical mistakes. It is the first step of success in course of writing correct English. Try to understand, pay your attention what I say. I say that the verb must agree with its subject in number and person, and there is reconciliation between subject and verb. Thereafter, our sentence is quite correct. So here the first thing is this: the verb must agree with its subject in number and person. Are you following? Thereafter, we have to understand English language syntax, agreement to the verb, and the verb must agree with its subject in number and person. I have started what is to be done. It is to be done that how to write correct English. It is our motto, it is our aims and objectives. For this, syntax is taught. And if syntax is taught in this way, you have to consider it that how you will be able to express your idea in the right way. This is the thing, this is the feeling must be considered. So, here, the first rule is called S and P. Here, S means singular. S-I-N-G. Here, plural. P-L-U. S-S-P-P. It means singular subject follows the singular verb. Plural subject follow the plural verb. Again I am telling, again I do describe. The singular subject follow the singular verb, and the plural subject follow the plural verb. It is the starting of the syntax, in which we have to pay our proper attention that singular subject follow the singular verb and the plural subject follow the plural verb. One thing that should be in your mind: every verb that is found in its present form, and the verb that is found in its present form is always plural. Try to understand. Every verb is found in its plural form, and whenever S or ES is used with the verb that changes into singular, again I will tell you, every verb is found in its present form, and the verb that is found in its present form is always plural. Whenever we use S and ES, that verb changes into singular. As for example, here you can write here, every verb that is found eats. Present. Tells. Eat. Eat. Plural. Every verb that is found in its present tense is in plural form. It means, again I am telling you, every verb is found in its plural form. Fed, ate, or yes is used. Verb changes into singular. Verb changes into singular. Again I am telling, every verb is found in its plural form. Whenever is or yes is used with that verb, thereafter that changes into singular. As for example, here I am writing G-O-O. Here I have written go. It is in its plural form. Whenever we write G-O-E-S, it is in singular. Again, G-O-Go is in its plural form. Whenever we use es with G-O, thereafter it becomes singular. G-O-Go, plural. G-O-E-S, go, singular. And another is come. It is in plural form. Whenever we use, thereafter it becomes singular. It becomes singular. So it should be in our mind that every verb that is found in its plural form, whenever is or es is used, thereafter that verb changes into singular. As for example, here Raman. You see here what I have written. Raman speaks English. It means Raman is singular. And here speaks is always also singular. Here Raman is singular and speaks is always singular. Speak is also singular. Thereafter here Raman and Raman, plural, and that very speak is also plural. So it is quite appropriate, quite apt, according to the first rule of the syntax, that singular subject follow the singular verb and the plural subject follow the plural verb. Examples have been written, and as per example we find here that Raman speaks English. It means Raman is singular and speaks is singular. Thereafter singular subjects, singular verb. Here I have written plural subjects, plural verb. But plural subjects, plural verb. But we see that Ramana, Pullal, and here Pullal verb has been used. Pullal verb is used. That is why it is quite appropriate according to first rule of syntax of agreement with the verb, that singular subject, singular verb, and the plural subject, plural verb. Listen to very carefully. Thereafter, it will come to your mind and it will take place forever. And whenever you consult your book, thereafter it will be forever in your mind. And after it, you will come to the position to write a very good English. Very good English. It should be your aims and objectives. Thank you. Singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. This is the meaning of the teaching of the first rule of the syntax. Singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. Every verb is found in its plural form. Whenever s or es is used, thereafter it becomes singular. And whenever yes is used, it becomes singular. So here I have written Ram speaks English. Raman and Aman speak English. It is the first rule. When the two words there and need, there and need, there and need, need, are associated with not, are related to not, are joined with not. Whenever two words associated with not, they do not follow the rule of SS and PP. Two words are there and need. When two words, there and need are associated with now, they do not follow. They do not follow the rule of SS and PP. SS and PP. What I told? What I written? I am speaking whenever the two words there and need are associated with not, they do not follow the rule of SS and PP. When two words there and need are associated with not, they do not follow the rule of SS and PP. As for example, dare not speak before me. He dare not speak before me. He need not go there. He need not go. What have I written? I have written, he dare not speak before me. Next, he need not go there. It means it is the exception of the first rule, SS and PP. These two sentences have been written in stead of exception of the first. Here, there and me associated with not have not followed the rule of SS and PP. The second, for the purpose of delivering, for the purpose of hypothetical statements, for the purpose of delivering hypothetical. Hypothetical means imaginative. Imaginative. Hypothetical means imaginative. For the purpose of delivering hypothetical statement, where W-E-R-E, where is used with I. Where is used with I. What is used? Where is used with I. For the purpose of delivering the hypothetical statement, the imaginative statement, in that case, in that situation or condition, what is used? W-E-R-E, where is used with I. It means I follow where. In case of hypothetical statements. Again I am telling you, I follow where. In case of imaginative condition, imaginative purpose, and to deliver an imaginative statement. If I were the Prime Minister of India, I would serve the problem of unemployment. Example, if I were the Prime Minister of India, it is not in its real form. This sentence begins with an imaginative part. In a hypothetical statement, and here it is quite correct that where it is I has followed where. So it is told, if I were the Prime Minister of India, I would solve the problem of unemployment. This type of sentence follow I with where with I. The next, for example, if I were the birds, I would fly always in the sky. If I were the mighty, I would be corrupted man in our society. If I were the rich person, I would help the poor in the society. These type of sentences deliver hypothetical statement, and in that condition, where is used with I is used with where. Next, numerical name always follow the singular verb. The numerical name always follow the singular verb. What I am writing? the numerical name always follows the singular verb. Always follows the singular verb. Singular verb. What I have written? The numerical name always follows the singular verb. Numerical name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Whenever we write, at that time singular verb is used. What is your singular verb is used? How? ₹10 is equal to 100 paisa. 10 rupees is equal to 100 paisa. Here 10 is numerical. That is why here singular verb is used. Here plural has not been used because it is in numerical form. Next, 20 miles is a long distance to cover on foot. Here I detail 20 miles is a long distance to cover on foot. As per concept it is seen that 20 miles means plural, but here singular verb is used. It should be in our minds. What is your singular verb is used? Here I have written 20 miles is a long distance to cover on foot. So in numerical name plural always singular verb is used. As for example, 10 rupees is equal to 100 paisa. 20 miles is a long distance to cover on foot. Next, when the two words are associated with and, when the two words associated with and, they follow plural form. Suppose Rama and Mohan are going to the it is associated with Ram and Mohan. In that case, plural verb is used. Whenever all is used, at that time it is used in singular. No? Mathematics or economics is a good subject. Here, either mathematics or economics, it means it provides the concept of singular. That is why here is has been used. It provides the concept of plural. That is why are have been used. Again, I am writing two words associated with and. Thereafter, plural verb is used. Two words associated with or in the middle of the two subjects, thereafter singular verb is used. Mathematics or economics is a good subject. Here, or it means it makes it similar. It provides the concept of similar. And here it is very given. Mathematics or economics it is a good subject. Next. When the two subjects have the same motive, the same thing. When the two subjects represent the same thing, thereafter singular verb is used. As for example, what I am telling, when the two subjects, two nouns represent the same thing, thereafter singular verb is used. Curd and curry is a digestive food. Is a digestive food. Time and tide waits for none. Time and tides, another example. Time and tides wait for none. What I written? When the two nouns represent the same motive, same purpose, thereafter singular verb is used. Next, when the two subjects have the same work, have the same purpose, even at that time, singular verb is used and determiner is used before anyone. What is used? Determiner is used. As for example,